And we're recording. So go ahead and come to your back. We're going to wing some of this, but we're going to do a sequence that's really nice on Karen's low back. So if you've been doing a lot of working out too and your low back experiences some discomfort, this will be a good one for you. So relax. And just take a moment here to make yourself feel very neutral. So in a perfect world, that would be a Shavasana where you're flat on your back with your legs long and your arms long. If you send your legs out long and there's an immediate kind of pain that dumps into your low back, then just bend your knees and make a little like teepee out of your knees. Knock your knees together and put the soles of the feet on the ground. And just taking a few breaths here, breathing in, breathing out. What I would love for you to find is a nice neutrality in your back so that there is no pain, there's no sensation at all. So what you can do then with that no pain, no sensation is send breath through it. So just deepening your breath. Inhaling and imagining the whole core and the chest and even the back expanding. And as the exhale comes, it just really falls out of you and everything just retracts back to the starting place. Now keep sending this breath through your back, your whole body. And if there is a spot on this back where you know there's an injury or there's something that's going to come up or the muscle spasm that always happens, go ahead and bring your attention there. And if your back is kind of good, but you have a different part in your body that's kind of wonky like that, take your attention to that spot and just park it there. And breathe into that spot, taking the big deep inhale and allowing expansion in the body, particularly in that area. And allow the exhale to go. Now, if you can, give yourself a nice bright white healing light at this spot that you're working on. And allow that light to grow bigger with the inhale as the expansion comes into your physical body. Allow this light to grow bigger and brighter. And as the exhale comes, the light becomes more concentrated and retracts just like your body. And just taking another couple of breaths here, just sort of communing with this spot in your body that you know needs some love and attention. And tell that spot you're going to give it that love and attention for this next hour or so. And now, go ahead and allow your eyes to slowly fall open and let your toes point up toward the ceiling. So there's just a little bit of engagement in your legs. So go ahead and send your legs out long and send the toes up toward the ceiling so that your body is nice and flat and your arms are alongside your body. And then from here, just go ahead and send your toes forward and then back and forward and back. And what you're doing is actually rocking on your body, on your bones, on your heels, and on your hips and on your shoulders. So you have this kind of wave moving through your body. So go ahead and keep going and let me get a look at you and see. It looks like everyone is frozen. Am I even, can you hear me? Okay, weird. Okay, go ahead and send your legs out long and your toes up toward the ceiling. And then you're just gonna rock on your heels, kind of sending a wave through your whole body. And you're allowing your chin to nod as you do this, and the whole body is just kind of rocking here. So you're sending a wave through your body, and it might take a little bit to get the action down, but I would love for you to just feel this whole nodding that takes place through the whole body. And then once you've kind of gotten that action, now go ahead and bring this to stillness, and then just windshield wiper your feet. So just send your toes all over to the right, and then up through center, and then over to the left. And up through center and over to the right. So we've just taken our ankles through flexion and extension, and now they're just going side to side, and your whole legs are internally and externally rotating as we're doing this. So see if you can feel, just as you were feeling the wave from the rocking, if you can feel your big old thigh bones actually turning in your hip sockets. All right, and then go ahead and bring your soles of your feet to the floor, your knees up toward the ceiling, and then now windshield wiper these guys too. All right, from here, go ahead and grab these knees, bring the feet off the floor, cup the knees with your hands, and then just make big circles with these guys. Keep the knees together. So this is a really therapeutic action, and we're kind of making like an imprint of the pelvis. I think this is one of the more therapeutic ones for Karen's body. So go ahead and you just be really gentle here with your back. Allow there to be kind of a massage on this back. You can send the circles the other direction. You can actually make this a little bit of ab work by just taking the hands away and just allowing your abs to kind of pick up and help with this movement as you take the knees over to the sides. You can also draw a little U with your legs. The bent knees are a little bit easier, and if you wanted to make this more abdominal kind of exercisey, you can make these legs long and make a U shape. All right, go ahead and bring this back to our starting position. Put your hands back on your knees. And this time, instead of keeping the knees together, take them apart and back together. In a great big circle we go. And then reverse the circles here too, so make sure that you're going both directions with the knee circles. Okie dokie, let's do our strap series. So go ahead and grab your strap. Incidentally, you don't necessarily need a strap for this. So like Gabby, I know you do a lot of stretching and you have a lot of kind of openness in your legs. So you can actually just take peace fingers and hook your big toe, and you can do this. Or take your strap. It goes across the ball of the right foot. There's a little bit of action in your left leg, so your toes point up toward the ceiling, but you're not really doing anything. And then you're encouraging your right heel up toward the ceiling as you encourage the strap to pull down on the ball of this right foot. And we're just gonna hold this stretch for about 2 minutes. So all we're really doing is stretching out the back of the leg. And the reason why this is so therapeutic for the lower back is because all of these muscles attach on the other side of your joints. So all of your leg muscles and everything coming through here are actually attaching somewhere up or in the top of your pelvis. So when you have a lot of tightness through here, it's going to dump right into your low back, if that makes sense. So we hold this for a while because your muscles have to let go eventually. You can also accomplish a deeper stretch by engaging your thigh. So if you kind of lift your kneecap on this right leg and engage your thigh muscles, you'll immediately notice a deeper stretch in the back of your right leg too. Take a few more breaths here, play around with that, engaging this thigh in an effort to stretch the back of the leg. See what you can do to get this right heel to come up toward the ceiling just a little bit more. And then lastly, apply the adduction, the little squeeze to your inner thighs so that this right hip drops down a little bit more toward the left ankle. And you're breathing this whole time, and all of these moves that you're doing become a little bit more intense, but you can still smile on some level. Let's take one more big deep breath here and apply all of the oomph that you possibly can to this one stretch. And then go ahead and take the tails of the strap in the right hand and send your right foot out to the right. You can take your left hand and put it on your left hip. This is a stretch for the inside of that right leg now. So again, it's the same exact rules. We're going to hold it for a while because we want to make the muscles get tired and not hang on. You're pressing with the inside of the right foot to accomplish a deeper stretch in the inside of that right leg. You're pulling on this strap, but if it's too intense, you can actually pay out a little bit on the strap to lessen the stretch. There's adduction here too. So think about sending your right sitting bone down toward that left heel. This left hand, it can be on your left hip, or you can actually send the left arm out to the left, which will give you a little bit more weight on that left side. And just taking several breaths here. With each exhale, see if you can deepen this. You don't have to do all the actions at once. It's a lot going on. All you want is a stretch through the right inner leg, and everything else is just kind of extra stuff to deepen that. Give yourself one more big deep inhale and exhale here. Go ahead and now take this all the way up and over. Take the tails of the strap in the left hand. Send this right leg out to the left. This right hip comes off the floor. Your right shoulder does not come off the floor. You're pulling on this strap here with your left hand, pressing into the pinky toe edge of that right leg, stretching into the IT band, the whole outside of this right leg. There's adduction here too. So there's just a little squeeze to your inner thighs and you'll feel this right hip drop down. But that adduction is also your escape hatch, right? So if it becomes too intense, then just back off. And slowly apply it with your breath as the muscles get tired. Couple more breaths here, deepening the stretch through the outside of your right leg. Go ahead and bring this guy back up through center now. Take the strap off this right foot.
Keep it handy. Give yourself capital T arms. Point these right toes. Send the right leg out to the right. Don't let this left hip lift. Send it through center and up over. Do let the right hip lift. Exhale, send it back out to the right. Inhale, draw a big old rainbow up and over to the left. Exhale out to the right. Inhale through center. If you want to make this more abdominal work, go ahead and from here, take the exhale to send this right leg out to the right in a great big circle. Inhale, cross through center. Exhale, big old circle. So yogi's choice, you can go through center and just have this kind of like, just draw on a rainbow, like windshield wipers up and over. This would be really therapeutic for Karen's back. You probably don't want to do the leg circle, but if you want to work on your 8-minute abs, then do the leg circle. Okie doke. Go ahead and send this right leg out next to the left and just observe the differences in the right side and the left side of the body. And my hope is that that right side just feels a lot more better and connected with everything. And then let's plug your left leg in the same way. So we'll start at the very beginning with the stretch on center on the back of the leg. Go ahead and send the strap up, the leg up into the strap. And again, if you just want to do peace fingers and hook that big toe, it'll put a lot more stretch on everything. But that might not be a place that you want to work today, and that's cool. Your right toes point up toward the ceiling, but the right leg doesn't really have any work to do. It's mainly for that adduction because it'll be easier to find that action. And breathe. Send the left heel up toward the ceiling. Pull down on the strap, but only to the degree that that feels good to you. Play around with this law of reciprocal inhibition, which says that if you engage this left thigh, your left hamstrings have to stretch. If you engage the front, the back has to cooperate. So it's called reciprocal inhibition, and if you engage that left thigh, you will accomplish a deeper stretch in your left hamstring as a result. And then the adduction. Just imagine you're squeezing something eensy-weensy in between your thighs, and you'll feel that left thigh, or sorry, the left hip kind of scoop down toward your right heel. Take a few more breaths here, stretching your own personal left hamstrings using any of the tricks that we've just gone through and foregoing any of them that don't feel good. Take one more really big deep inhale here and use the exhale to deepen the stretch. And then go ahead and keep the strap in the left hand and send this left leg out to the left. Your right arm can go all the way out to the right, or it can go to your right hip to help remind that right hip to stay down. This will help your abdominals pick up the work. You can pull back on the strap, but what I'd love for you to really feel is when you're pulling back on the strap, pull your thigh bone back into the hip girdle too. Press the ball of the left foot into the strap. Put that little squeeze on your inner thighs. In my body, it feels more like the left sitting bone is pulling in. Take a few breaths here. Keep renewing the engagement in your abdominals. They should absolutely help you out here. There's no reason that big old leg needs to just hold itself out there. Make it work together. Okie dokie. Up through center you go. You can pull on the strap to help you get there. Take the strap in the right hand and send this big old left leg out to the right. The left hip does come off the mat, but the left shoulder does not. So however that stacks up in your body is perfect. This stretches for the outside of your left leg. So we're going to push into the pinky toe edge of the left leg. Adduction here too will drop that left hip down and really put a lot of mustard on this stretch. So apply the amount of adduction that works for you. Nice big full deep breaths here. Take 2 more big, full, deep inhales and exhales. With the exhales, see if you can deepen this stretch in your own body to whatever degree is appropriate. And then go ahead and send this guy back straight up in the air. Take the strap out of the equation for the moment. Give yourself capital T arms and L legs. And then go ahead and take an inhale and send this left leg up over to the right, and the left hip comes off the mat. Exhale and send this left leg out to the left, but the right hip does not come off the mat here. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale out to the left. Metronome, that's the word I was trying to think of, the little timer that pianists use. So go ahead and move like a little metronome if that makes sense to you. Otherwise, inhale and come off this left hip, and then use the exhale to create a big circle with this left leg. Again, it's not really a therapeutic move like the windshield wiper is. This is more of a Pilates kind of move. So choose your own adventure, honor your own body. The intention is always to kind of have a conversation with this body of ours and let it know we love it. So we don't want to really beat it up. We just want to encourage it and gently challenge, right? All right, let's see what we got next on this little sequence of ours here. I think it's time to sit up. Yeah, go ahead and sit up here. I'd like to put a boat pose in here though. Bring yourself to seated in whatever way is easiest. And we'll choose our own adventure here too. So sit, grab the backs of the legs. And door number 1 would really be just to pull back. My feet are still on the ground. I'm pulling on the legs and I'm stretching out my back. So Kara, this is really just for you, super therapeutic, very cat-like. And cow-like, and cat-like, and cow-like. And you can totally have these legs wide, so it's cow, and then cat brings the heart through. Might feel good. If you want more abdominally, go ahead and lift the legs, and go ahead and bring everything down. Let go of your legs. Come all the way down, 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 down. Keep the shoulder blades off the mat and see if you can gather all of this back up and come back up. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, boat. Again, the therapeutic version of it would be to not really flow it so much, but just to find the stretch through the back body. And then a little bit of strength through that back body. Cool? Come to all fours. Go to all fours and do just some cat-cow that you know. So place the hands right beneath the shoulders. Place the knees right beneath the hips. And just inhale and look up toward the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades together behind you. Send that tailbone shamelessly up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, round it all. Look up toward your belly button. Tuck the tailbone down between the knees. And separate your shoulder blades. Inhale and exhale. Taking a few of these. And then just like we did the heel rocks, let's take this from directly on center, rocking back and forth, to more of a circular motion. So take everything forward and off to the left, and then back towards your heels and up through the right. And I'm having foot cramps, speaking of cramps, so you would really want to untuck your toes. But if your feet cramp up, then you might want to tuck them. Yogi's choice. All right, so just feel your shoulders moving in this round motion and feel your hips doing the complementary thing. Make sure you go both ways with these circles. I haven't been watching you. All right, go ahead and bring this back on center. Again, toes tucked or untucked. Mine are tucked just because my feet are being weird. And then do your fire hydrants. So straight out and straight down and straight out and straight down. Take a few of these. Your abdominals are helping here too. Try not to rock everything over. So don't just take everything over onto the left leg and like wing this out. The idea is to keep the thigh bone moving in the pelvis in this specific way. Now, go ahead and take this more on center, straight out behind you, and straight in, and straight out behind you, and straight in. And here too, feel that adduction. You're still squeezing your belly, even though your legs are moving. There's still adduction there, and that still brings it into the core, so your balance is improved by this. Excellent jobs. Now, let's go ahead and do our, like we're jumping over a hurdle. Take this right leg out. Try to touch the right knee to the right arm. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't matter. Take this down to the starting position and out back. And just make big circles. And the arms are acting as a stabilizer, and the hips are the things that are moving. Just try to make that feel the way it feels in your own body. Okay, let's get off your wrists. Go ahead and come down. You can choose a child's pose. Go ahead and take child's pose. Come down to child's pose. And then do this for me too. While you're in child's pose, just go ahead and give yourself a little wrist massage. Just take your thumb into the wrinkles of your wrist and just roll that thumb around there. Push into that meaty part of your thumb where your thumb and your hand meet. And do your other wrist too. Go ahead and bring your sweet self up to seated on your shins. Go ahead and sit on your shins for a moment. You're going to need your arms, so if you don't like to sit on your shins, go ahead and just come over to seated on your booty for a second. Whatever feels good to you is great. We're just going to do some Diana Ross and lobster claw. So go ahead and take your arms up, join the palms, and then as you exhale, push out of the heels of your hands and come to capital T arms. Push. Let's just do a couple of those. Inhale, take us back up, join the palms, exhale, push the palms away, push into the heels of your hands, Diana Ross mudra. One more, and exhale. And then go ahead and go lobster claw from here. Lobster claw. Make like a pinchy motion. Give yourself some circles and go the other way with the circles.
Take the arms up once again. And exhale, push out the heels of the hands, Diana Ross. Lobster claw. Circle, 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 circle. Okie doke. Go ahead and come back to all fours. Secret option B, if your wrists are really bothered, you can do this series on your forearms too. It's a little bit more intense, I would imagine. I'll do it with you. So from here, we're starting with just the fire hydrant. So send this straight out. And just do a few of these, and all I really hope for you is that you can feel your big old tire iron thigh bone moving in this kind of awkward but important way in your hip girdle. Now, go ahead and take this leg of yours and just send it straight out back behind you. Again, toes are tucked or untucked. I'm tucking mine. It's actually a little baby hamstring curl here too. So as you send this left foot back, imagine you've got a tray of drinks that you're all of a sudden holding, and you have to hold it perfectly level. And you'll get a little hamstring boop out of it. Okay, now let's just imagine that we're doing our jumps. And then the next time you take this out, jump over your hurdle, send this left leg straight out to the left. Try to touch your left arm with it, but maybe it doesn't work, particularly if you're doing this work on your forearm, it's further to go. And then just make big circles. Okay. Go ahead and put this away. Bring yourself to child's pose. Just take your hips back to your heels. Actually, let's do a wide-legged one. So go ahead and come back out. Send your knees really wide, like maybe almost mat width. And now bring your hips back. That should feel really, really lovely on your back. Just let your belly hang and just breathe. Now go ahead and leave your lower body the way that it is and just walk your arms over to the left and maybe take your right hand and stack it on top of your left. The right hand stacked on top of the left is probably the most intense. So if it's too intense, just don't have it stacked perfectly on top. Take one more breath here, and then do your other side. Take a couple more breaths, stretching out this left side. All right, and then from here, go ahead and come on up. I'm trying to decide how best to do this to make it the most effective. Come on up to seated, cross over your ankles, come out to your booty. And we'll start with just folding forward here. So make an L shape out of your body. Be as L-shaped as you possibly can. Your tailbone is driving down toward the mat. Your belly is moving in. Your chest is lifting up and you're super proud here. And then you just walk all this forward. And maybe this is your pose. We're stretching the backs of the legs once again, but we're moving into the shoulders here. So we're going to turn this into a twist in a moment. But right now, you're just
Stretching forward, forward, forward. Nice stretch for the whole back and the backs of the legs. You can play around with that reciprocal inhibition here too. It's pretty easy to engage the thighs here. As soon as you fire those thighs, you should feel the backs of the legs fire up. Fun stuff to do with your body. All right, back out of this a little bit. Take this left hand over to the outside of the right leg and then just twist open. Peel open to the right. Maybe you look out to the right. And now take this right arm and cross it over the left. Bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg and peel open to the left, sending this left arm directly out to the left. And again, maybe you look out to the left. And then swim. Cross the arms once again, peel open to the right. And just go with your own breath. Exhale to close it down. Inhale to open up. Okie doke. All right, let's go ahead and bring the strap back into the equation. And a cushion too. If you have a cushion handy, go ahead and get it. What I would love for us to do is some cow face pose, but a really nice one. So if you have a lot of openness in your hips, you might not need a cushion. And if you don't have a cushion, then I'll give you modifications so that you can do it without. So what we're going to do here is cross your right leg over your left. And we're trying to stack these knees on top of each other, or the right on top of the left. Where a little bit of elevation comes in handy is that you actually can get these knees a little bit more stacked on top, but it's not totally necessary. This is a stretch for your outside of your right hip. So kind of like with the strap series that we were doing, if you're getting a stretch but it doesn't look anything like that, don't worry about it. It's just for the outside of your right hip. Okie doke, everyone looks like they got this. All right, let's add the arms. So go ahead and take your strap. And again, if this is not necessarily something you need to do with a strap, if you can clasp your hands behind your back without it, then you don't really need the strap. Send this strap up in the right hand, and you're grabbing for the strap with the left hand. So the left elbow is moving down and the right elbow is moving up. So we're very pretzel-y here, right? So take a moment and feel in your own body. See what you can do to take the outside of your right arm and scoop it a little bit more forward. And as it scoops forward, perhaps you can feel that you can send that right elbow a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Maybe then you can actually bring your hands closer together behind you. The left arm is internally rotating, so that left elbow, it wants to move down toward the floor. And the outside of the left arm is kind of moving forward and down. See if you can feel that in your body. Okie doke. Taking a few more breaths here. If you still got more room and you want to move further, go forward. Send the heart forward. And as you move this whole thing forward, my guess is it will dump a lot more into your right hip. So again, use that as your escape hatch and put as much spice on the thing as you want. Looking good.
Okay. Go ahead and release this. Come back up to vertical. Let go. You can take the strap back up in the right hand. I've lost my strap, but go ahead and just take your strap back up. And then give yourself just full range of motion in these arms. Send your right fingertips down toward the floor and your left arm up. Reach up. Okie doke. Now take this weight behind you. Take these legs out in a V. Cross your right leg underneath your left. And then set yourself up in a way that makes sense for you. So our bodies have all done this pose, I can tell just by looking at you. So get it so the left leg, the left hip is stretching. Make this mean something to your lower body. Take the strap up in your left hand, or don't. Take your right arm out to the right, and then take the back of the right hand to the back. And then see if you can get these guys to meet. For whatever reason, I just don't really need the strap for this, so it makes sense for me to get rid of it. Do what works for you. You're either drawing your hands closer and closer together with the strap, or you're just deepening the engagement. Sending the left elbow up toward the ceiling and the right elbow down toward the floor. And taking a few more breaths here. Again, leaning forward to whatever degree your left hip is still up for the challenge. Taking a few more breaths here. All right, go ahead and release this. So again, just taking left hand up, right arm goes out to the right, and then just give your shoulders the full range of motion and take those left fingertips down and reach the right arm up. And then go ahead and bring the hands back behind you. And just let your legs go nice and wide. Bring the soles of the feet together. And just fold your sweet self forward here. Okie doke. Go ahead and take this apart. Bring yourself to your back. Hey, buddy. And we'll just do some bridges. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground and the knees point up toward the ceiling. And then go ahead and just lift your hips. Inhale and lift your hips. Press the feet into the ground. Take these arms up and over. Take the whole inhale and then use the whole exhale to just lay your spine down. And kind of winding down this practice, so just getting really interested in what's going on with your back. Peel the spine up, lift everything up, take the arms up overhead. And then lower this back down piece by piece by piece, being gentle with your spine, thanking it for the way that it articulates with all of those vertebrae and what they do. Inhale and lift it all up. And go ahead and release this all back down. Hug your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a happy baby pose here. Take the knees nice and wide and grab the soles of the feet. Doing everything that you can to make your back feel very flat here. So let those thighs really move out to either side. Imagine this exactly like that wide-legged child's pose that we did. Cool, cool. Go ahead and take the soles of the feet, put them down on the mat. Cross your right ankle over top of your left knee and draw that in for a nice figure four stretch.
Just taking several breaths here to deepen the stretch in this right hip. And then just go ahead and switch over to the other side. Press the left ankle over top of right knee, draw that in, stretch the left hip. Couple more breaths here. All right, and then a little bit more motion for your hips. Go ahead and release this. Send your legs up toward the ceiling and interlace your fingers behind your head. So this doesn't have to be ab work, but it can be. So ab work works a lot on that principle of reciprocal inhibition too. So the stronger we can make the front of your body, the more your back body will open up. So it's all the same. So from here, you decide. What I would love to give you is just wide legs. Inhale and open them, and exhale and close them. Inhale and open them, exhale and close them. You can actually put your head back on the ground, so there's just really no ab work to this. It's just the movement of the thigh bones in the hips, which is all my entire intention for you is. If you want to make this more aborific, then go ahead and take these shoulders up off the mat and let your elbows mimic your legs. So my elbows and my legs are wide right now, and then I'm going to exhale and draw everything together. And inhale and open this back up. And exhale and draw it together. My shoulder blades never touch the ground. And I'm using a lot of abduction and a lot of my side muscles to make this happen, right? Okay. Go ahead and come back out. Give yourself capital T arms. Let these legs go wide once again. And then we're just going to go in half circles. So imagine a clock and send your left toes towards 6 and your right toes toward 12. And then send your right toes towards 6 and your left toes toward 12. So like your left toes are going to ascribe from 12 to 6. And your right toes will go from 6 to 12. Okie dokie. All right. Go ahead and come back to hands to knees. Come back to your big knee circles. Come back to that breath. Start to push that breath around your hopefully more stretched out back and legs. Close your eyes and let your body move however it wants to move. So maybe you want capital T arms and the same circles. Maybe you want to go individual circles. Maybe windshield wipers would feel better. Maybe you want to end this practice with a shoulder stand or a headstand. Some roll-ups could be an interesting way to end this. So if you wanted to fold forward and then sit and then fold up and over. Just move however your body wants to move. And start to bring yourself toward Shavasana. Making your way to on your back. And again, if you arrive on your back and your back has something to say about that, then just let the knees bend and put the soles of the feet on the mat. Put those knees knocked together. You can put your cushion under your thighs. And just come back to stillness.
and to you and to this body that you live in. And breathe. And relax. Let that breath get deeper and deeper now. Just send the breath through the whole body. Imagine you're like a little balloon, and with each inhale, just every part of you, even your toes, even that middle left toe, inflates with breath. And as the breath gets deeper and deeper, the body just kind of feels like it wants to move eventually. So when it's feeling that way for you, go ahead and start to move your body. Maybe you want to lie down on your right side or left side before you come up to seated. Just do what feels good to you. And then sealing our practice, just find a comfortable seat. Whatever seat feels good to you is great. Bring your hands to your heart. You can stack them or you can do prayer. Whatever mudra feels good to you. And just take a moment here to feel the breath. Move into your chest. Feel that life there. Feel your heartbeat. Feel. Think of one thing that you're grateful for right now, today. And allow that feeling to permeate your body and carry it through to the rest of your day. And as always, I appreciate you for choosing to spend this time with me. Thank you. Namaste. So I'm going to stop recording.